Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped, something.
I wasn't expecting that
either. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny, I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things. Of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
There's something just very cathartic about writing it all out, and often when I do that, more dots are connected and things are kind of clearer.
Do you take notes while you're in conversation with me?
No, but I immediately, it's the first thing that I do when we hang up on the call before I answer any messages or talk to anyone or get up or do anything. I have my notebook right here and I just jot it all down.
Sounds ideal. I take note when I'm client, I'm taking notes about what I'm saying the whole time, and it's pretty distracting to myself. So
yeah.
Sounds like a good move.
How is it when you're practitioner?
Then I'm taking lots of notes. So, well, I say lots. For an hour call, I'm usually filling the front and back of one page.
Yeah. Yeah, and I would imagine it's not as distracting.
Right. I'm not talking as much.
Right. You're not talking as much. You're not having to... I would imagine, at least this has been my very limited experiences. I can, I'm not the one holding so much emotion or so much whatever's coming up. I can sort of just relax into listening to this other person. And yeah, it's less effort in a way. I don't know if that's the right word, but something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it can definitely be very relaxing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting to hear you say too, because I felt that recently in trying on this practitioner role and feeling there, even for hours afterwards, there was a sort of semi-euphoric, calmness.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Glad you're doing that.
Me too. I'm glad it feels so good too. That's that's nice.
Yep. Okay. Anything else you want to chat about, or should we get started?
Yeah. I think I am about ready to get started. I think I would also like to just thank you for having so much grace around what we talked about in the last call and being as understanding as you were. It was very relieving to my whole system. And it was kind of amazing to me, like how much that sort of exited my mind after that. And it just felt good to kind of clear. And then
Awesome.
yeah, it was great. It really kind of just lost its hold or importance, or I don't know. Yeah, it just kind of felt like it just needed to be acknowledged, and then that was good.
Yeah, that's usually what parts need.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, yeah. It's all welcome. We can go wherever you want today, and hopefully I can do more of that. Bringing the grace. Do my best.
Me too. Yeah, it helps for me to close my eyes and kind of settle in. So I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay. Would you like me to set a timer for a minute or two of meditation? Or whatever you want to call it? Okay.
Yeah.
How about 2 minutes?
Minute. All right, let's do 2 minutes.
Thank you. Okay, I'll set a timer. Okay. So, parts that you would like to get to know better or change your relationship with.
There's a couple that come to mind. There was definitely a part that felt it was very important to remember our notes from last call, like a straining to not forget to have continuity and this sort of, I guess it's idea of like progress.
Right. Okay. Appreciate that part.
Yeah, me too. So I went there for a little bit and was remembering the deliberator. There was a couple kind of like fortuitous things that happened after that call where I was getting to know the deliberator. I'm in some IFS schooling now, and I was listening to a lecture on polarizations. And they were talking about this two-handed meditation.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was practicing that and noticing the strong yes and the strong no. And the teacher at one point pointed out the importance of not forgetting the third party that is usually there. And that deliberator part got very excited. It felt very seen and recognized, like, yes, that's my role. I am that third party. Deliberating both sides.
Okay. Is that what the teacher was calling attention to? What would usually be the third party?
Yeah, she was saying you have this strong yes and the strong no, and the third party is generally a part that is weighing out both options, is looking down the line at both paths. And I don't think she used the word deliberation, but that's the sense that I got, this sort of other part of you that is not necessarily taking one side or the other, but is really just interested in making the right decision.
Okay. I had a couple other third parties in my mind when you first said it.
I'm curious about them.
Well, one would be an exile that two polarized protectors would kind of be fighting over.
Yeah, absolutely.
And another would be the self. And oftentimes I think of the self as doing that somewhat of deliberating role, in that it is hearing from all the other interested parties and leading, having kind of an informed leadership role.
Yeah, oversight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, she did discuss the sort of clusters. And I liked that, at least how I understood it. It didn't feel like the most important thing that she was stressing was that you suss out, exactly who everybody is and how many, and just kind of being with the ones that are present then, or the ones that are coming up often. And I can definitely see in that two-handed meditation, she had us hold the strong yes and hold the strong no in either hand. And then towards the end of it, ask the question, if we could see beyond these two parts what they were protecting, who they were protecting.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was the same exile or possibly different ones. Yeah, in that case, there was a common exile. I think I found it interesting that I sort of started with the deliberator. Started getting to know this kind of cluster, this kind of patterning.
Okay. I'm nodding.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I don't know that I have more thoughts on that, but just that it was a interesting place to start.
Okay. Are there any of those parts that you'd like to work with today, or is there some others that feel like need your attention more?
Well, there was a different plan that I had for this call. That I had thought of yesterday. But in a strange way, there's already been a bit of relief there. I have sort of a block around remembering my dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very aware of it. I mean, I very much invited it in at one time in my life and really depended on it. So I'm very aware of why it's there. It feels like for the last few years, I've kind of quietly let it know that it could release a bit. I'm ready to remember them. I'm ready to listen and see them. But nothing has really shifted too much in that. There's just once in a while I'll remember something. But this morning, while I was sleeping, I had a really vivid dream that ended up, I did some work around it afterwards, and it ended up being extremely fruitful. Kind of getting to know a part of myself that really needed some healing, that I had been kind of completely missing, like not
Nice.
seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So it feels like my system's possibly beginning to trust that it can show me those things.
Okay. I feel like I could talk about dreams all day. So those parts of me, I'm trying not to let them chime in too much about my questions about your practice or how that looks or anything. Again, we can go wherever you'd like in this conversation, any parts.
Well, as I sit, as I scan, kind of feel, I get a lot of sensations in my midsection most of the time. I would say they're like predominantly there in like the belly and chest and throat and shoulders. I'm just kind of scanning that area, partially looking for that deliberator to see if there's some energy there right now. And I'm not getting much. Like that feels calm when I check in with that part.
Mm-hmm.
And I am very interested to understand more about dreams. You know, what's interesting is that often when I think, oh, I know what the deal is with that part or those parts, those tend to be some of the most surprising ones.
Right.
Yeah. So even me just starting this kind of talk about dreams by saying like, oh, I know why it's there and I know why I do that. I might be surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which part to start with in that.
You could ask them if any of them would like your attention, our attention.
Yeah, the part that doesn't want to remember them. Yeah, I just got a little bit of heat in my chest.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of like tightness.
Okay. Do you want to try to go there?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel towards it?
I feel like I understand it. And I feel thankful for how many years it did a really good job at blocking out really painful dreams.
Is that a from the head understanding or from the heart understanding?
Both.
All right.
Yeah, I can recognize both. I feel it in my head and in my heart.
Does it feel understood by you?
Yeah, for the most part. But it is, I think it is feeling a bit threatened recently with me wanting to remember again.
And you already feel like you understand its concerns, fears about that.
I feel like I understand and am grateful back when I was inundated with really dreams that were too much and really painful. So I there's a part of me that wants to tell it like we're in a better place now and we're safer now.
Okay. You could maybe start more with questions like, you could ask it how old it thinks you are, for example, just to gauge its understanding of where you are.
4.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of showing me iterations of myself at different ages, but tracking back to 4. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
I used to have
go ahead.
Like I used to have night terrors as a kid, I think is what they call them. Where you are in this strange, not awake, not asleep stage. And it was wild. Like I would open my eyes would be open. I shared a room with some siblings, so they would speak to this afterwards, but my eyes would be open and I would see the structure of the room around me, but it wouldn't look how it was supposed to. There'd be like cobwebs and dark shadows and things that weren't actually there.
Yeah.
But it was very real and really terrifying.
Is there a 4-year-old that is in there that you have worked with, or that feels like a place you would aim for?
I haven't worked with this particular 4-year-old before. Not that I've definitely worked with young exiles, but this does feel different.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like a dangerous place to go. Like it doesn't feel, I don't feel resistance.
Check it out with the dream blocker. Show it your real age and see how it responds to your real age and just your contemplating that 4-year-old and looking for parts at that age.
Yeah, the dream blocker had an interesting response of like, this doesn't make much sense to me, but it was kind of like, I didn't know it went back that far. Almost like the dream block. Yeah, okay, I get it. The dream blocker didn't come into play until much later. Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't, this is funny to share, but so it wasn't until I was in my early 20s that I learned I could smoke a bunch of weed before bed and then I wouldn't have nightmares. I wouldn't remember dreams. Yeah. And then it was strange. There's so many years of doing that when I stopped doing that, I still couldn't remember. And I just invited that and let it stay. It's like, yeah, no, just keep doing that for me. That's good.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. And does the dream blocker have concerns or any
Seems
other?
like curiosity almost, like it's curious about this other part. Like, why wasn't I invited in back then? Kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, the fact that it was guessing that you're 4 means that I'm assuming it was at least, it was online or it was in the wings perhaps, but
Yeah.
the 4-year-old didn't know how to activate that.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Does the dream blocker need anything from you in the present, in the future? Does it have any requests?
Go slow, it said.
How do you respond to that?
I nodded. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll go slow. I understand that it means that in two ways. One, in this kind of inquiry, but also in the remembering of dreams.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like the dream blocker kind of senses that going towards that 4-year-old is going to release some of that. And it's just saying that we should be slow about the remembering.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm letting it know that it can act as a soft break.
Mm-hmm. You may also be able to negotiate that if you do meet a 4-year-old part, that can be something that you kind of put out there up front of, okay, I have parts that are concerned about too much, too fast.
Yeah. 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 In the interest of there usually being parts around that I'm not fully aware of, I'm kind of putting that out as like a public service announcement.
Right. You're just broadcasting that to the whole system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that feels good.
Okay. What feels right for you next?
I have a visual of the 4-year-old. I can picture like my old bedroom. It was an attic bedroom, so the ceilings were slanted. And yeah, I can picture like the time of night. Nothing is really happening. She's just there in the bed. Seems kind of sad.
She does?
Yeah.
How do you feel towards her?
Interested and a little maternal.
Okay. So going slow, you could introduce yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, she seems fine with that. It hasn't really changed her posture much or her facial expression. I can just see kind of part of her face, but it kind of gave me like a short wave, like a kind of a shy, timid wave.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You just could let her know that she doesn't have to do anything, share anything, and that you can totally respect any distance or space that she likes.
Yeah.
Or pace.
Yeah, that seemed to definitely feel good to hear. I get the sense that she is glad for my company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could ask her to tell you anything about her, anything about herself or experience.
Yeah, she seems confused. Like she doesn't know why that happens, why those dreams happen.
Does she want to show you more about what it's like for her?
Yeah, she's kind of saying like, everybody else says that kind of just keep hearing like, it's fine, you're fine.
It's fine. It's only a dream, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They don't seem concerned, but she's really concerned.
Yeah. Yeah. So she has the difficult experience of the dreams themselves, and then the added difficult experience of others not understanding or taking her concerns seriously.
I think that's adding to her confusion. Like the dreams are confusing, but it's also confusing people's responses to this.
Yeah.
Almost like she doesn't get it. Like there's something that they see that makes it fine that she's not getting because this doesn't feel fine.
Yeah. Yeah. You just let her show you how that is for her.
Yeah, lonely.
Lonely.
Yeah, she's I just noticed my posture right now is mimicking hers. Like my knees to my chest and holding my hands around my legs.
And does it all feel okay to you? Or is that going too fast, or does that feel okay?
No, it's nice. It's like it was comforting, actually. I think to her to see that, to feel like she's not alone. I'm here. I'm actually sitting just like she is.
Yeah, that's great.
I can definitely tell that she feels scared to go to sleep.
Yeah. And are you all right letting her show you what that's like for her? That fear?
Yeah, I just felt like a bit of a rush in my chest and a little just kind of rush up from the chest into my eyes, a little bit of tears, like that anticipation, like fearing what will happen.
What will happen
when she goes to sleep?
Right. Okay. And does it still feel okay, or are you going too fast?
No, it feels good.
Okay.
It feels okay.
Yeah, she's really letting you understand just what it's like physically, those feelings.
Yeah, and she seems very gentle, like her energy is very gentle. She's scared, but she's also like seems very considerate not to overwhelm me. And perhaps she heard the service announcement.
You could check that out with her, even just to learn if that's what's happening, if there is a lot more that she has that she wants you to know.
Yeah, she gave me like a sly little smile.
Yeah, okay, great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, that's something that the two of you can work out. You can negotiate. You can learn, what it would look like, feel like, how much time and attention would be right for the two of you, for her to just kind of continue sharing her experience and letting you understand.
I feel like we just came to a pretty good understanding, like a midway point of something that works for both of us, because she doesn't necessarily want to go back fully into the nightmares and go to sleep and go fully into them. Right. But she's feels okay recounting them while she's sitting upright and awake. And I feel better. Parts feel better hearing about them, knowing that she's not, unsafe, or knowing that she doesn't have to completely relive them. Right.
Yeah. The important thing is that she feels like you get it.
Yeah. She's been giving me these little, there is definitely a feeling of camaraderie between us. And she's been giving me these little kind of snippets coming in visuals more than words. Just kind of remembering what some of the dreams were like, and a lot of them involved someone trying to get us, like trying to get me, trying to get her, like a bad guy. There's always a bad guy. And this feeling that she wasn't safe, like the waking up in the night terror and being in the house, but that the house was not safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does she feel like you're getting all that?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there more she wants to show you now, or would you like to try going back into her time and being there for her in the way that she needed someone?
Yeah, I mean, she was kind of telling me that she didn't know where to turn. Didn't know where to hide, didn't know how to get out of it. And I'm getting the sense that she means the dreams and in real life. I'm just checking that with her. I want to make sure that wasn't an assumption. Yeah. She's like, yeah, it's all unsafe.
Yeah. So if she trusts you, that could be something that you do, is kind of go back in her time and be that person that can help her feel safe in whatever way feels right for the two of you.
I don't know if this is a part or not, but what comes to mind, how I would like to be there for her, how I feel she needed someone, was she needed somebody to question why these night terrors were happening.
Yeah. Okay. So she needed someone to kind of examine it and say, and take it seriously.
Yeah, like what's going on? What's going on here? That's not normal, or that's not okay.
Yeah. So that could be something you offer her. It's just that compassionate curiosity.
Yeah, and not dismissing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, seeing that it's connected to more, and helping to protect her.
Mm-hmm. How's she like that?
There's a block that just came in.
Okay.
It's one I've met before, that
Mm-hmm.
kind of like a naysaying of this part of IFS. Like, say what it's saying to me is, you can't, what your dad did, what your brother did, he did. Like, you can't change that.
Yes. I believe that part is right. It's welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what we're aiming to do is get to know a part in its present kind of experience. It's presently feeling scared. It is kind of stuck in a time, but you're seeing it right here, right now.
Yeah, she's with me now. Yeah.
And when we're redoing scenes, I think it's less about rewriting history and more about showing parts who I am now. I'm someone who would stay and help figure this out and show a lot of curiosity and not dismiss it.
Yeah.
And that's what you needed. And so I'm going to give you that now.
Yeah.
And just seeing how that feels to parts who are kind of stuck in the past, who are still dealing with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that feels really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just, if I was there, it would look like this.
Yeah, I feel like a major dot was just connected for me with this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that can include going to dad and brother and whoever else. If I was there when dad's doing this, when brother's doing this,
I just heard a really funny response to that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That part just came in and was like, I'd kick their ass.
Okay. I think that's, that can be an act of compassion as well in defending a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if that's what she needs, and if that's what she wants to see, is however you're making those boundaries, let's say.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely perked up at that.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've seen like her full face, and
yeah,
actually the lighting changed. Like it's brighter, and
yes, and her wanting that, at least her wanting that can be something that you can accept and acknowledge, and
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and say that's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay to want that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, she wanted somebody to say, what the fuck are you doing?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. If that feels right with you, you can do that. You can stand up for her.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a sense of like, you don't have the right to do that.
Right. That's right. That's what she needed.
Yeah, I'm kind of hugging her now, like protectively, just wrapped around her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it feels good for her.
Mm-hmm. And see if there's anyone else, anyone else to send a message to, anything else to set right or to redo with your presence in her time.
Yes, but there's definitely a little bit of a block on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Like wanting my mom to notice what was going on, but the block is that there were 6 of us kids and we were really broke, and my mom was really overwhelmed.
Okay.
And she was doing everything she could, but it was too much.
Okay. So you can find a way to send a message to your mom that she'll get. That's right. That's in this time, in this space that you're with this part, writing a letter, or you can invite your mom to have tea with you. Tell her you need to talk with her.
It's like she wants to give my mom superhuman powers so that she'd be able to have space and time for her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like she just asked, like, what if she had superhuman capabilities? I get she's only one person. She can only do so much, but what if she had superhuman powers and there was a way that she could hear me and see?
Yeah. Yeah. What I'm hearing there is maybe just some grief about mom's unavailability.
Yeah.
So again, you can help send that message in that time, or you can just show her your own availability. You're acknowledging of her grief, acknowledging of your mom and who she was at that time, and just letting this little one know that you can provide what others couldn't.
Yeah, she just wanted somebody to notice what was going on and to notice how it was affecting her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I get that the grief was around even when things were obviously bad or violent or whatever it was, like even when it was on public display, my mom couldn't see it because there wasn't any time to deal with it. There wasn't any space for it to be happening. In just survival mode, carry on.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of the superhuman powers and her being able to pause and give her a hug and be with her.
I'm just brainstorming if you'd like to hear another kind of suggestion or maybe again kind of sending mom that message. Mom, I wish you had time. I wish you had superpowers. I wish I could give you a hug and for you to notice X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I get a sense that she wanted that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The dot that was the dots that were connected for me earlier. Because I was seeing the 4-year-old was showing me some of the dream content, what the nightmares were about. And then I was also having memories, flashbacks of much later when I was like early 20s, and these really strong nightmares came back. And in both kind of times in my life, at those 2 points in my life, very difficult and traumatic things were happening in real life that weren't being acknowledged. And I can see how they were coming out in these nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
Because they just were not being acknowledged in real life.
Mm-hmm.
The hard things that were happening, like the nightmares were of totally other different scary things, but
right.
The scary thing that was really happening in real life was not being dealt with or spoken about.
Yeah. 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 So that's something that you can continue doing for her. It's being that person she can speak to about whatever's going on with her.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely makes me feel better about if I were to start remembering my dreams more, what might be in them, because I'm very much dedicated to talking about what's really going on now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Is there more that she wants to do with you back in her time? Or would you like to invite her out of that place, out of that time, to come be with you somewhere else?
Yeah, I'm going to check. Yeah, I definitely get the sense that she would like out. Like, this attic is fucking scary.
Yes.
She probably didn't use the F word, but like,
sounds
I don't
scary.
want to be here.
Yeah. Yeah. You can get out of there. Anywhere she wants to go, anytime.
I was just at the beach earlier today and I jumped into the ocean. And it just kind of came to mind like this. It was great. There was nobody on the beach and I had my clothes on, so I shouldn't have gone swimming, but I just wanted to, and the water was so nice, so I did. And that seems like a nice place for her.
Okay. Yep.
You can do whatever you want. There's no adults around.
Yep. Just check out with her. See if she has anything she wants to add or change, or she can have it her way.
She loves that my dog is there too.
Nice.
Yeah, he sits at the shoreline and waits for me to come out of the water. Yeah, I don't know. Part of me is skeptical that it was that easy, but I feel like she is there with me.
Great. Yeah. And there might be a lot of other stuff that she wants to share. There might be other stuff to go and redo. So the important thing is that you have a connection with her. She might want to change where she ends up. Maybe she gets tired of the beach or it's not quite right. So
yeah.
It's just about connecting, listening.
I just got some visuals of like, it was fast in just a couple of seconds, like that attic room being cleaned up, like spick and span, and everything kind of being dusted away and brightened and flowers and one big sweeping motion. It was cleaned. And it's funny, like she doesn't want to stay there, but she wanted to leave it better. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that could be another thing that if she ever does tire of the beach, and if you ever are talking about bedtime again, it can be, what's your kind of perfect, comfortable place to relax?
Yeah. Yeah, that's so cool. I just saw like the slanted attic walls kind of bowed out.
Mm-hmm.
Became much bigger, more circular, almost like a globe, and there were stars and this sort of like strong, I don't know what it is, this like strong protective seal that went around the room.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like on the floor and up the walls of just
safe.
Yeah, no one's getting in, no one's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sealed, and yet like we have this open access to the sky.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Doing great. We got another step if you'd like to hear it.
Yeah.
Okay. Ask her where in her body she's carrying the fears, the pains, the grief, and how she'd like to give them up.
Definitely felt like a heaviness in my heart. The visual that she gave me was just, again, kind of holding her knees up to her chest and, yeah, just saying like, it's my body. It's my whole body. It's not safe to be in my body.
Okay. Yeah. So she's ready. Maybe just, seeing how to give up that feeling of not safe, feeling that there's no one there to listen or take her seriously, be curious.
Yeah, kind of seeing it like evaporating out of her pores.
Okay.
Like effervescence.
Okay. Yep. Just help her keep doing that until it feels like it's all out.
Yeah, she's just opening her mouth and letting the effervescence come out of her mouth too. Just the palms of her hands and just letting it all bubble away.
Mm-hmm.
And get kind of like tingling sensations in my whole body. Yeah, I'm just having her kind of like shake it off.
Feel like it's all out, or is there more that she's carrying? Other places in her body? Anything we skipped?
So really light and yeah, just like this like achiness, just being completely shaken off.
Nice.
Oh, she had a little bit more in her heart. She just took that out. Yeah, just kind of doing like what a dog does, where they just like You just shake it off.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. As long as you know how to find her and stay connected, keep checking in on her. That could be something you negotiate if that's, where, how, when, how often.
In our dreams would be an obvious place. I guess we could meet there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that before, and sounds great. If you feel like you can do that, if she feels like you can do that, and you know what, if that doesn't work out for you, you can try something else. So
yeah, I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
At the beach. I'm just letting her know we have options. You can find me in many places. She wants that protective layer that we put around the room. She wants that around her.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you can give her that. You can make any space. You can meet her where she wants.
Yeah, it's like, so how I envisioned it, or how she was showing it to me in the room, was like at the snap of a finger, we could kind of enable this security system. Mm-hmm. And that's what she's showing me around herself, like at the snap of a finger. I can feel safe, guarded.
Yep.
Protected.
Nice. So if that's all feeling good, you could, if it feels right, kind of check back in with any protectors we met along the way, like the dream blocker. You might kind of update it, invite it to see what's taken place. Let any parts that were in orbit of this one know that you have her now, as she's safe with you.
This is kind of silly, but we're kind of like, we're all kind of dancing at the beach. Like we're having a bonfire and we're all kind of just like, this feels so much fucking better.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we're celebrating.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. Anything we skipped? Any parts have questions, concerns, requests of me?
They're inviting you to the party.
Okay.
Yeah,
we're partying here.
To this bonfire beach.
Thank you so much. It's really, I really feel that I'm there. I can see it, and it's beautiful.
Yep. It's going to get weird. We're going to howl and jump in the water and do whatever we want. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm just smiling.
Yeah. Yeah. Great work. Stay with her. And let me know how it goes. If you have any questions, any parts, anything, you know where to find me.
Yeah, I'm just opening my eyes for the first time and adjusting and kind of amazed that my parts are really good about letting me get to know them for the most part. But there's definitely been such a strong block with any type of suggestion of like changing or rewriting the past.
Yes. Yeah. I get that.
The way that you phrased that really made a lot of sense. Because that feeling in that 4-year-old is so present and so vivid now.
Right.
That makes so much more sense. Like that's the piece that we're working with.
Yeah. Yeah. And the things that did happen to her. And we're not, we don't want to add to the dismissing her experience.
Absolutely. Because that was a huge part of the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So thank you for phrasing it that way.
All right. You're welcome.
Oh.
Thank you.
Thank you, James.
Okay.
I'm a little stunned and amazed, and I'm very appreciative.
Me too.
I hope you have a really good night.
You too. I'll be in touch. Send you another link if you'd like to do it again sometime.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye. Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows? That might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube. And they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.